Well, I thought that our players responded really well. I thought that they had a lot to prove. One thing we've talked about all year long is you got to go earn your respect. And, playing a team that won the conference last year, this was a great opportunity, a great challenge for our football team facing the 11th ranked opponent in the country. It's been at the top of college football for each of the last 2 years. And so it was something that I thought our guys were prepared for. We were ready for the opportunity. We've been so close all year long against some top opponents that we faced this year, and just was unable to finish. And a lot of that had to do with the fact that we've had a lot of young guys that were needing the game speed reps, that were needing to get a little bit more mature in how they played and how they prepared. And a little over 90% of our production this year is coming from freshmen and sophomores. And so when you play that many young kids, you know that there's going to be some mistakes that are going to be happening. So we knew we had to eliminate our mistakes. We had to cut those down, and if we did, we felt good about it. I mean, while this loss or this win might have shocked a lot of people across the country, it didn't shock our kids and didn't shock our staff. We knew that it was just a matter of time until our process paid off, and so it was great to see. It was great to see the performance of Jarvis Pruitt, obviously a Walter Camp National Player, the Defensive Player of the Week, and winning Conference Player of the Week was huge. But his performance, and not just him, but our defensive front, I thought our defensive front played exceptionally well. Demrick Gary was another one, a true freshman that played exceptionally well. I thought we played very well on the back end, especially holding a team that had a top 10 offense and was able to get 7 sacks on Greg Ward, which I thought Greg was playing as good as anybody in the country, and very productive on third down team. And for us to be able to eliminate them or to limit them in the yardage total that we had and the fewest number of points that they've scored was big, and was obviously set the tone, creating a couple of turnovers early in the game. Offensively, I thought our quarterback Ben Hicks has continued to grow up and continue to get better, and I've seen this trend since the Temple game. Even though that we didn't play as well up front against Temple, I thought that Ben's performance was definitely improved. And definitely improved against Tulsa, and then obviously I thought his best performance the other night against Houston. And so, when you see those young kids mature, with the Cortland Sutton making big catches, James Prochet, a freshman, making huge catches, and so we didn't give up a sack, and that was big. For 2 weeks in a row now, we've been able to protect Ben Hicks, the freshman quarterback, and so again, you just you see this team getting better. We knew we were going to. It was a matter of time. We saw us getting better throughout the course of the year. We just weren't seeing the end results on the scoreboard, and the message has been just believe in our process. The results will come. We can't control the outcome, but we can control how we respond, and so. So taking that and be able to come away with a monumental win for our program and for this university, and it's been 1986 since they beat a ranked opponent, and so it's or a top 15 opponent. So that was huge. And there was a lot of buzz all week long on campus, and for us to do that in our home stadium in front of our crowd and 500 recruits here was really huge. A turning point for this program, and now what we do with it moving forward is totally a response on our players, and playing against a Tulane team that's much improved. Coach has done an unbelievable job with him. I got great respect for Coach Fritz and what he's building and what he's done in his past, both at Sam Houston and across the many stops that he's been a part of out in Georgia and so Georgia State and so it's been, Georgia Southern. It's been huge to watch his performance, and we've got our work cut out for us. They're very aggressive, much improved defensively, and offensively. His triple option definitely poses problems to anyone that faces him. So we'll have to respond very well and understand that the season continues to move forward.
Any questions for Coach Chad Morris, please? Star 1 on your telephone keypad to join the queue. Then the operator will introduce you.
We will go to Dan Tortora with wakeupcalldt.com. Good morning, Coach. How are you today?
Hey, Dan. How you doing?
Doing well. You said that the wins will come and that you could see this program improving, and you had spoken about that, going into the season and through the first few games as well. Just coming off of a win like this against a top 15 ranked team, what it does for you as a coach and what it says about kind of what you were saying this whole time, that you saw these steps being taken even if they weren't showing up in the win column.
Well, I think for me as a coach, what it did is, it validated to our staff the message that I've been preaching to our staff, the message that we were preaching to our players, that, look, you have to believe in the process. You have to believe in what we're bringing to the table here, and it has to be a belief that you can't let the outside noise affect. And that the events that we were a part of, we can't control, and nor can we control the outcome of what the final score looks like on the scoreboard, but we can respond. That's the one thing we can control. And when our response each and every week, each and every quarter is greater than the events that we're a part of, the outcome will eventually take care of itself. And so that was the message, and it has been the message for the last 23 months, is let's focus on getting 1% better every day. Winning today mentality, and so that's what's happened. And when I knew something was in the makes, obviously we knew we were going to be a better football team this year, and we've seen that along the way. But when we got beat in overtime against Tulsa, and I walked back in there and I saw the hurt, the players, tears in their eyes, the crying, the hugging, and they were very at that moment I thought they were very vulnerable of how I was going to respond, and because they had worked so hard, and not to get the final result in that Tulsa game was really a pivotal point in that part of the season. And so my response to them was, look, I'm just so happy to be your coach, and for 18 ball games, this is the most I've seen anybody hurt, which tells me you care. And if you care, that means you believe in what we're doing. And I just said, look, we're going into an open week. You got to continue to believe in our process, and we got to continue to control our responses. And if we get better, and that's a choice, by how we respond in our open week, the results will pay off. I don't know when, but you have to believe that if you stick to something long enough, you're going to see results. And it was great to see the celebration of our staff and our players taking a win like we did the other day. And it was a dominating performance. We played exceptionally well, and it wasn't a field goal at the end of the game with the wind blowing to the back to get it through the uprights. It was from the opening kick to the final whistle. It was we dominated the ball game.
When you look at your offensive line, and you had made mention of them in your opening address, Coach, just what you can say about their protection of Ben Hicks, and I know you mentioned it a little bit there, but how important they've been, because a lot of the skill players obviously get the credit, get the publicity, get the stories written about them, but what can you say about the offensive line?
Well, when you've lost your starting left tackle, your starting quarterback, and your starting running back, those three positions in the NFL are the three top-paid positions on the team. And we lost all three of those with fall camp and the first game of the season. And so the ability to move guys around, to bring a freshman quarterback in there, to put a running back in there that's Braden West, the only really returning running back, then start a true freshman running back and Kamen Freeman. It was we had to put a lot on our offensive line, and we knew that those guys were so young up front that there was a lot of things that were going to be happening to them, a lot of game speed reps that you couldn't simulate in practice, and it was going to take a learning curve. But I did tell them this: that look, if we'll give our quarterback a chance, he's going to get better, but he's got to feel confident behind you guys. And I think after the Temple game was a critical point for us. It was a moment that we called them out, and they've responded since. And because of that, we've 2 games with no sacks and against a top 10 defense in the country that's taken great pride in playing physical, and that was huge for our performance for our guys. It definitely gave this program and this university a huge confidence boost, and especially when you played an opponent like we play, and we got great respect for them, and a team that dominated Oklahoma early in the year, and again been talk of the expansions, been a talk of the college football playoffs, and so for us to come out and play like we did, I thought that was a huge confidence boost for our young kids.
Thanks, Coach. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And get one more in for Coach Morris, please.
And we'll go to Ronnie Woodward with Greenville Daily Reflector.
Coach, with that opening statement and then those questions there, I'm good, actually. You answered it all. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Coach, well, thank you then for your time. Look forward to hearing from you again next Monday.
Thanks, Chuck. Appreciate it.